Hey, good afternoon. It's December 30th. Thanks so much for being here. Just 3 more days. Today, well, actually 2 more days. Today and tomorrow, and then it's 2022. Wow. I'm just going to do, again, like last week, just one video a day for today and tomorrow and Saturday, because you've got plenty of going on, and we'll kind of get back in the groove on Monday. We'll continue looking at faith and the faith we need to prepare us for 2022. So this chapter in Hebrews 11 is really important to us because it opens our eyes to what faith is all about. Again, faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we don't see. And the faithful ones in the past were commended for this. We understand the universe was formed at God's command. So what was seen was not made out of what was visible. Then the first example that we have, and that's what I want to talk about this afternoon, the first example that we have is faith. Of faith is Abel. By faith, Abel offered a better sacrifice than Cain did. By faith, he was commended as a righteous man when God spoke well of his offerings. And by faith, he still speaks, even though he is dead. Fair amount of misunderstanding about this passage. Was God displeased with Cain because he brought vegetables and Cain brought meat? Is there something else missing? No, right in the text of Genesis, we see the answer. When it was time to bring offerings, it says, and most of the translations will read this way, Cain brought some of his vegetables as an offering. But in contrast, Abel brought the first fruits of the firstborn, the first fatted calf of his animals as a sacrifice. He picked out the firstborn, the special ones, and he brought that to God. See, that's the example of Abel's faith that still speaks to us today. He put God first. Cain, on the other hand, gathered up some stuff, some vegetables, and he brought them. It's some of his fruit, as the text says. But just as the music in this song is just kind of an enjoyable, kind of a laid-back approach to life, that's not the kind of approach we want to take to faith. And certainly not as we approach 2022. We want to be all in for God. See, what Cain was doing, he's manipulating God. Hey, I'm bringing stuff. Look at me. I'm not keeping it all for myself. I'm giving some of it to God. In sharp contrast to Abel, who's giving the best of what he had to God. And so God is pleased with Abel's offering, and as we look at Genesis, not with Cain's. And Cain immediately gets mad. Hey, I'm giving you something. What's your problem? You and I are like that. You see, some vegetables, some element of our faith, but not our whole heart given to it, is an attempt to manipulate God. Well, I need to do this so that God will be okay with me, so that I'll get what I want. I need to do enough so that God will help me get through 2022. That's not the way that faith works. Faith is giving our whole heart to God, as the text tells us, that we are sure of what we hope for and certain of what we don't see. We're putting all of our eggs in God's basket, if you will. We're not leaving ourselves some other places just in case it doesn't work out. We're not manipulating God. Cain was trying to manipulate God. Abel gave the best. He acted in faith. That's what God calls you and me to be about. To act and respond with our whole hearts. Not just something that's some of it. See, if we do some faith, some giving, some extra effort, we're going to raise children who will just give some. We will not be an example to others because we just get along with everybody else. We do just enough to manipulate the circumstances or God to get what we want. But the reason Abel is commended here is because he puts his whole heart into it. He trusts the Word of God, even though it was very limited compared to what we have, and gave it all to God. See, there was nothing laid back or manipulative about Abel's offering. He took the best of what he had and he gave it to God and trusted God for the rest. As we face 2022, let's not try and manipulate God so that we'll get by, so that we'll survive, so that we'll still get what we want, and yet God won't be totally upset with us. Let's follow Abel's example and the other folks in chapter 11 of Hebrews who gave their hearts to God, who gave their lives to God, who were all in for God. See, it's not a matter of whether Cain offered vegetables and Abel offered meat. It's the manner in which they gave it. Cain operated on the basis of manipulating God because that's what was best for him. Abel operated on the basis of honoring God with all they had because that's what's best for God. And that defines faith, doing what's best for God. As we come to 2022, the only hope, the only assurance we have is giving our hearts to God and to give him our best, and then to trust him for the rest of it. And that's the thought for this day on December 30th. Turn that over in your minds. Again, love your feedback, love the comments, love the interaction. So cool to be with you. Again, just one more day and then we'll end 2022. Amazing. Thanks so much for being here. Check us out everydaytalk247.com. Check out the resources. It's a good resource section there. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing that. Turn on post notifications. The videos will come right to you. So good to be with you this day. The Lord bless you. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow, New Year's Eve. Amazing. Bye-bye.